What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. Okay, well, I wanted to share a couple things with you. My experience with playing in a Ghost Card tournament, which was awesome, and why I think that it is really going to literally change the game experience for so many people. But there are two things that I want to preface this with, not as required viewing, but highly suggested viewing. So the first of which I think many people have already seen already, and this one is probably more optional, but if you saw Luke Plays to Earn video, I thought he brought up some really great points. And again, you know, I addressed this in a live stream. I don't necessarily agree with, you know, what Luke was saying or all of his points. I think there's a lot of valid things that he brought up, and there were a lot of things that I disagree with. But what I love about the community, or at least the way that hopefully Luke and I are, I mean, I think he's awesome. And I just appreciate the fact that he can give his opinion, that he cares, right? I think to me, that's the most important thing, because it's easy for people to check out. But I love seeing his passion for the game and wanting to get an awesome game experience, no matter what level you're at, right? Like he's bringing a perspective of somebody who plays in bronze and silver. And I think all levels should be, you know, all perspectives should be viewed equally in that sense, in terms of having just a good experience within the game, right? So shout out to Luke for that. And again, like I said, I don't agree with everything, but I think it's important that we listen to all of the opinions here and try to take the best from it. I really think that's how our community can be one of the best, and is the reason that it's one of the best here within the space. The second one, and I would say that this is a little bit more required viewing for this specific video, is the recent interview or live stream that Splinterlands HQ, or NFT Gaming Collectibles, Gank and Walking Keys, they had Weird Beard on the show. I think it was just a night or 2 nights ago, whenever it was. So that was an awesome interview. And if you guys know me and have been following this channel, ever since Weird Beard's debut on the town hall, I have been a huge fan of his. So it was so awesome to just get his like raw thoughts, emotions about everything that's going on, because, you know, the town halls come and it's just like Aggie's got a very difficult job of like trying to give everybody enough time to talk through things. And, you know, it only goes for 2 hours. So giving Weird Beard essentially like an hour or 2 hours to talk on his own about his vision and what he's trying to really bring to the game, to the space, and to the company was a lot of fun for me, at least. And the reason I tie those together is because Weird Beard is one of those folks who is very focused on the game experience and wanting to create a solid game experience. And, you know, as I've said, there's two areas to this, right? There's the game and there's the game economy. And I tend to lean more towards the game economy in terms of things that I'm interested in, that I potentially even cover here. But there's no game economy if there's no good game, right? And I do believe that Splinterlands has a good game, but one of the arguments that I thought Luke had that was quite valid was that there are a lot of things that people have wanted to see, fundamental changes within the game, that haven't come yet, right? And that being said, I still think the new player experience is awesome. I think ranked rewards are way better. If you're in bronze now, you can earn like 5 to 10 chests a day rather than just one, right? The chests have more cards in them, or whatever the case is. There's no more credits. You get SPS. So I think the new player experience is a lot better, but that doesn't mean that the game has like taken the next step, right? I think a year ago, we were all hoping we'd get some form of land where there'd be like a 2-step process that they've been teasing. But here we are talking about, excuse me, talking about land being potentially pushed to like a year from now, functional land. So I get the frustration, and you know, those are the two prefaces that I will have for this. Now, getting into my experience, I had the opportunity to play in an internal Splinterlands team member tournament, which was a Ghost Card tournament. Now, this is the first time I've ever done it, and you can actually go find it. It's in the tournament section under private, but you will see here that it says Splinterlands Open, or if you go on the outside, you can see Modern Open. So if we scroll into the details, you can see on Open, it says you will be provided with a complete collection of cards based upon the sets available for this tournament. The cards will be at the level cap for the league this tournament is run at, and your owned cards will be unavailable for use in this tournament. Okay, so right off the bat, I have to say, this was awesome, right? Like I told this to Weird Beard during the tournament, because we were all in like a little group chat thing. I have been hyped for this right? I've been hyped for this because I think this is literally going to be game changing and experience changing for so many people, especially those playing at bronze, silver, and even gold like myself, right? That have incomplete decks, especially when it comes to Untamed and Dice. And playing it was a whole different thing, right? Like I've been hyped for it even before playing it, but after playing it, I'm convinced now. I am sold that this is really going to be one of the ways in which many players can get a lot of satisfaction. They can get this sense of like, progression may not be the right word because there's still other things within the game that need to progress, but just this idea of like having a fair shot, right? Really testing your skill at the highest levels, right? And it doesn't even need to be at the highest levels because like I don't even have a complete deck for bronze if you think about it, because a complete modern deck for bronze again includes all of Dice and Untamed, and I don't even have level 1s of all the Untamed and Dice cards. So playing like this was at the gold level, but it was crazy. I gotta say, almost like paralyzing. You know, the analysis paralysis was very real of like, holy crap, like I have access to Leer Deep Swimmer and Kitty and Jotun and Llama and all these different options now, and I'm not used to using them, right? But it was cool to be able to try a lot of them out. And you know, here let's see if I can go through some of my battles. I only made it to the second round. I shout out to Hardpoint. I did beat him in the first round. And you can see here, I went with Kelia. So clearly I wasn't making use of everything, but I did use Coral Lurker, which is an absolute unit from Rift Watchers. Second game I lost, but this was me testing out Dahlan, right? I'm like, oh, well, I have Dahlan now. Let's see what ends up happening, right? With Dahlan. And then in the third game, I tested out Aquatis and won. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They tested out Aquatis. I went with Kelly again. See, look, I was just being ruthless. I wanted to win. In round 2, I did lose to Homestead, who went on to win the entire thing, but I got to play with Kitty. I still lost, but, you know, it was all right. Let's see. Round 2, we both went Jotun. I took that one. But see, like, I was able to play with Almo Cambio and test out a bunch of different things. I went for speed because I had maxed out versions of Countess Sinesh and Supply Runner. And then I lost the final game, and I don't know why this is still stuck here. All right, Splinterlands team, looks like we have a bug on the tournaments page. But let's go back and see if I can find you that one last battle, because I am curious to know what my losing team used. So I went with Kitty, and I lost with Kitty. So here's a perfect example, actually, of what I'd like to show you. It's just like, everybody thinks Kitty is OP, but Kitty's only OP if you know how to use it. And I literally had every card available to me, and I tried to get cute going with Kitty and Diamond Dragon, right? And Dragon Spirit, as well as, I mean, Halfling Alchemist. I don't have any of these cards, right? 4 out of the 5 cards here, 80% of the cards I don't have, but I wanted to try and get to use them. But, you know, it was fun. It was cool. And I think, like I said, I think this is going to be the future of like awesome experiences for many people who are not like fully invested or have large capital or are able to invest a lot into the game, right? And I take this back. And the reason that I brought up Luke's point was because, you know, he's talking about spending a gaming budget of like $50 to $100, which I think is reasonable. I don't know if it's the average, but I think it's definitely closer to the average than many people, you know, in the Mav chat, for example, will spend, right? Or people in gold and silver or gold and diamond plus. So being able to do all the cool things that Weirdbeard was talking about, where in the future there will be potential, you know, circuits, right? And regional final. I mean, he's getting all crazy with it, which I would love, because if we can actually get that stuff implemented, it will be so awesome. But I am excited for 2023 because I really think Ghost Card tournaments are going to allow everybody to show just how good you are at this game. When everything else is level, right? When everything else is even, how good are you at this game? And, you know, it's funny because Weirdbeard and I like nerded out about this in a call that we had a while back. And, you know, it's like, if you've heard me on the channel, right? What have I been saying that I want to do with like our tournaments here? We've run 2 out of the 5, and I may actually even put those tournaments on hold until Ghost Card tournaments are live. So if you've been wondering why I haven't done any more rounds, it's because I think Ghost Card tournaments are really where it's at. But like, I want to be in the business of making celebrities, right? I want people to, I want people who are in this community who may not have the thousands of dollars to, invest into the game, but know how to think through strategy. I want to shine the biggest spotlight on them possible. And talking to Weirdbeard, he wants to do the exact same thing. And he's in a position on the team where he can do that. So that made me excited because I'm just like, all right, well, it's like my dreams, I can live vicariously through what Weirdbeard is trying to accomplish and just back him as much as possible from the outside in or from, adjacent. I do music for the team, so I'm not setting up tournaments, but it's still cool to see what he is doing and what he's putting together. So, I'm excited for, first of all, Splinterfest, because that is the first time this is going to go live and people will be able to play. And obviously I have the great honor of being able to commentate on the games with both Luthien and Bulldog. So I'm looking forward to that. It'd be fun to compete too, but let me just get that out there. Obviously I'd love to compete, but it's going to be probably even more fun to be watching all these battles and giving some commentary on them. So I'm excited about that. But moving forward, whenever these Ghost Card tournaments go live, I really think that this is going to be a game-changing thing for the entire community, for players at all levels, right? But specifically the ones at the lowest levels. And I want to share something with you, and I hope it's not going to get me in trouble because it shouldn't get me in trouble because I'm just relaying a conversation that was had in that private chat, right? So Weirdbeard was trying to get some feedback from folks in the tournament, and Matt, was playing in the tournament as well. And you can see here he made it to the semifinals. And so Weirdbeard wanted to get some immediate feedback from Matt and said, what was your thoughts on the tournament? How did you like it? And Matt was like, well, I have maxed out versions of all the cards, so it wasn't any different to me, right? And that I'm pointing that out not as a bad thing, right? It's just there are there's a portion of the group, right? Portion of the community that this won't affect really, but it will open up so much to everybody else, because even for someone like myself playing in gold/diamond, right? It was not life changing. I'm being over dramatic here, but it was an awesome experience, right? Whereas for some folks who already have this, it's going to be just like everything else. But now these tournaments, instead of having like 40 people with maxed out, champion level decks, now these tournaments will probably be open to like 400 people or 4,000 people, and things can get kind of crazy and awesome, right? Now, the one thing that I do think is important to call out here is that how do we protect the value of cards, right? So, and I think Weirdbeard did a good job talking about this on Gank and Walking Keys show. So I'm just going to paraphrase it here. But the idea is that, and again, the reason I'm tying this all back one more time to Luke is it's oh, look, I got some awesome merits. Sweet. The reason I'm tying this back to Luke is because I do think that there could be some cool rewards that may end up just being like soul bound to your account, or maybe they're like titles, but not like NFT titles, or maybe they're just like, I don't know, right? Like it's just stuff where it's like, man, if you win a tournament, all of a sudden you are, like you have this kind of like aura within the community, one of these Ghost Card tournaments, because people know like you're legit, and you could be a bronze or silver level player, but you won the tournament, you played at the highest levels, and you knocked out Matt and Biz and Yasik and Bubkey and all the top players, right? Just imagine if you were able to do that. And again, I know not everybody will, but it's just the idea that the opportunity will now exist, and you'll be able to have that clout. And here's where I'm going to tie everything together from this past week. Here's where things get really awesome. Now, I'm really not trying to make you guys go out and watch a bunch of videos, and especially I'm going to shill my own video next, but I'm not saying that you need to watch it. But I had a chat with Nifty Arcade, which was a great conversation. So if you do want to watch it, it is on the channel. But they are building stuff out for guilds where you won't need to rent out decks anymore. There will almost be, with this new delegation SPS beneficiary system, you'll be able to borrow decks from people, right? Or they'll be able to lend decks to you, where you do on a contract basis, like splitting SPS, whatever you agree on, like 50-50, 60-40, whatever the agreement is, right? So what I'm excited about, and this is what I was geeking out with both Nifty Arcade and Weirdbeard about, was like, all right, like, can you imagine like somebody in whatever part of the world, right? I'm not trying to assume anything. Like they could be here in the US, right? And or they could be me, like with a gold level deck, right? Me with a gold level deck or somebody in another part of the world with a bronze level deck. But imagine, right? You win or you place in the top four, even the top eight of a tournament that has like 4,000 people in it, right? Or even 10,000 people, because Weirdbeard was saying we're getting like 10,000 unique accounts playing in these tournaments now. So let's say you are in like the top 50. Well, all of a sudden, somebody's going to look around and be like, hey, dude, this guy plays in bronze. I want to reach out to him and I want to offer him the opportunity to play with my champion level deck. And we'll do a 50-50 split. And if you've seen those rewards in champion, they're kind of absurd. Right? So now all of a sudden, because you've been able to demonstrate your ability to be a good player, like people will come out and seek you. And the tools are there or are being built and will hopefully be here soon in order to do that. So I don't know. I'm ranting in this video. I think I've referenced like 3 other videos already, but not just my videos, but on other channels. Again, a lot of this stuff is coming together really nicely. And while I don't think it's going to be a perfect, smooth road, and we probably won't even get everything within the next couple of weeks here, I'm hoping by the end of the year or maybe even early next year. And I know that seems so far out right now, guys, but it's 3 months. And 2 of those months are like huge holiday months here in the US where everything literally shuts down. So we're a couple of months away, I would say, from getting all of these cool things into place. And is this going to bring hundreds of thousands of players in? Probably not. Maybe, but probably not. But it could make your experience way, way better. And I think for me, even though I play in gold and I'm able to push to diamond now, and I have an awesome guildmates who delegate me cards to help me out, I know everybody else doesn't have that kind of experience, and I'm excited for you to be able to jump in to these ghost card tournaments, start making a name for yourself, start earning stuff in game, even if it's not of financial value, but clout even, right? Clout, like respect, whatever you want to call it, and really start to build out the celebrities, right? Really start to find out the cream of the crop and give opportunities to more and more players in the space. Because again, this isn't just going to be for the top players. There's a lot of decks here, right? There's a lot. We haven't even opened half of the Chaos Legion cards. So just imagine, right? Just imagine if somebody can run the numbers and see that you can play champion better than a bot, for example, then maybe they just split it with you. They invest in the champion deck and know that you can make it back because you can play in tournaments, you can play in, you can play at the high level tournaments, you can play in high level diamond or champion, whatever the case is, right? Like there's going to be some interesting number crunching that happens here amongst the people who have a lot of capital, and there'll be some interesting opportunities for the people who don't, that are looking for that opportunity to play at the highest level. So Ghost Card tournaments are the first step towards that. And having experienced one, I'm going to close out by saying that it was a great experience, and I cannot wait for the rest of the community to really be able to dip their feet, dip their toes, but really just jump into the water with it because, I'm just looking forward to it. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. I ranted too much as it is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're looking forward to this, if you're not, what are some things you might be scared of? What are some things that I'm maybe being blind to in this video or missing completely? I would love to get your feedback. Otherwise, I will catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.